What is up? What is up? What is great with you, whoever you are, wherever you are? I just wanted to come back up on here and make the second part 2. There's going to be a part 3 to this story as well. So strap in. Okay, what this is going to be about, it is about Jimson weed, Jimson pod. Jimson, it is a weed that is grown around certain areas within the United States. Now, it has a high rate of cyanide inside of it when it blossoms and even when it is dead. Now, when it blossoms, it has 60% cyanide. Now, then when it is fully dead and the plant is fully dead and the pods go from being a live flower to a dead one, they go black and they rot. Now that creates anywhere between 85 to 95% cyanide within it, so you have a very high chance of taking a trip and not coming the fuck back at all, meaning dying. Okay, so now on the last little walkthrough, I explained, basically the beginning of the trip. So go find part number 1 to Jimson weed, and you'll get the very beginning of it. I'm not going back through. It's like a 20-minute thing, but it's cool. You know what I mean? Go back through. You'll learn the story of what I'm doing and what I'm saying. Talk about. You know what I'm saying, guys? So, with that being said, I'm going to go into it. So, the very next day, I was in a trestle. I woke up in like a little dip in the side of the road. And when I woke up, there was these bikers that was there kind of fishing by this river that was by me. So you had one side that was the river, then you had the part that would dip down, and you had the street. Well, I was kind of right here, but then right here by the river area, so I could when I woke up, I seen them. Now again, for the people that have not watched the first part of it, I still have my bike, and again, mentally, my bike is there mentally, but not there physically in form. Same thing with my headphones, same thing with my cigarettes and my lighter. In this story, same thing, and then there's other things I'm going to walk you through that are not real as well. But so I wake up, and I instantly, when I wake up, I look over and I see these burly old school bikers. They all have they're all fishing, and they're all standing beside the river. And there was a woman, and she was dressed kind of like a biker, but she still had that woman appeal to her. She had a corset on, but it was all leather, and then she had spike bracelets and spike chokers and shit like that. And the guys had they had leather jackets on, and then they had just bands of metal bands and stuff like that. But the jackets had random patches from, I don't know, maybe Hell's Angels, maybe fucking, I don't know. I've never dove in. I know who the Hell's Angels are, but I really don't know of any other biker gangs, because or biker, churches, as they would say. So getting into it, there was these biker people, and I woke up and I seen them, and I started trying to talk to them, because I had no clue where I was at, and I was just completely lost, because I woke up. When I passed out, I was somewhere that I knew. When I woke up, I was completely not even fucking there. So it didn't know what was going on, had no clue what was going on because of the night before previously taking the 3 full-size pods of Jimson that were dead. They were dead Jimson. Now, again, with this the disclaimer on this video is I do not want anybody to go out and do this. Okay, this is for learning purposes for you, whoever you are, and anybody that doesn't know about it. And for the people that do know about it, if you've ever done it, please don't do it again, whoever you are. If you have not done it, but you've heard about it, don't fucking do it. It is not worth your time. You got a 50-50 chance of getting one of the most psychological mind fucks ever in your life, or falling into a real life comatose state and not ever waking back up, period, or just dying, period. Okay, that's why I'm speaking about it. Now, I am also speaking about what I've seen during this point in time because I am still here to talk about it. And some of this stuff is very crazy, off the wall, but it's real. The story I'm going to say, the story I'm walking you down is a real factual thing that happened to me that still, some of the stuff to this day, I don't know. I have no clue. So, there is in this story that I'm going to go on and tell you about, there is somebody with me, but keep in mind, you guys, like, I took a very high dosage of a very heavy hallucinogen. Now, this hallucinogen, they call it the heaven or hell drug, and they also compare it to doing ergot. Now, if you know what ergot is, and you're a tripper, then you know where the fuck this whole tripping story is going to go. Okay? Now, if you're not a tripper, you have no clue what ergot is. Ergot is what people in the Bible, ergot is people that, from Indians, like throughout time, they've used ergot. And what ergot is it is mold that becomes on a rye piece of bread. And what they do is they put it in a, like, damp, dark area. Normally people put it in bags, or like back in the days, they would put it somewhere like in a cave or somewhere where it could become moldy and start to grow the fungus. Now the fungus, there's a green and a white fungus. Now, off the top of my head, I can't remember which one was good and which one was bad, but basically, whenever it gets to a certain point where you see the green or the white, you're supposed to scrape off whatever one is the bad, which is most of the cyanide, over time, that with what they were making into a fungus, which would come with it on top of like other different, I guess you could say fungal diseases, because it's a fungi. And in general, they would grow it out to where it would become those two colors and where it would become fungi. And then they would go and they would put it in the sun, in a hot area, for multiple hours, until it was fully, like, just hard, almost as like a piece of toast. And then what they would do is they would eat it. Not all of it. They would take like little chunks, and throughout time, people has used what I'm talking about, and they've used it with ayahuasca, and tripped with both of those, because it is kind of on the level of like a DMT trip in a sense. Now, so getting that facts on what I'm about to talk about, that's what Jimson does, but it has more bad traits towards the body, the mind, and everything with ingesting it. Now, if it didn't have those bad traits, then, I mean, I guess you could use it for some good, in a sense, but at the same time, it's one hell of a hallucinogenic, like, plant. Now, So I'm gonna go on with the story, y'all. I just had to give you that little backstory. Sorry and shit, but hey, it is what it is. Now, so when I'm there talking to these people, I walk up after like sitting up and looking at them, watching what they're doing, and then coming into the area where they're at. I was like, oh, cool, they smoke cigarettes. I'm gonna get a light and smoke a cigarette. So I walk up and they're all like sitting there fishing, and every time like I try to say something to them, they'll look at me, but they won't say nothing. And the lady was the only one that said anything to me, and every time I was asking for like a cigarette, or like asking what time it was or where it was at, like the lady would just tell me to go. She would literally, that's what I kept hearing from this lady that would walk around, and she was like basically just kind of like a maid in a sense. She was cleaning up the like little campsite area that they had, and there was like Harleys and all kinds of just stuff that they had, because it looked like a campsite that I was sitting in. Now, so over time, like about maybe 6 minutes of me like trying to figure out what to do, trying to get them to like let me light a cigarette and this and that off of one of their cigarettes or a lighter or whatever, they wouldn't fucking say nothing. So I was like, okay, this is fucking weird. To the point when I asked the lady one more time of like, hey, can I use your lighter? Because every time I would speak, she would say something to me, which I said, which was, go, get out, go, leave type thing. And the last time when she said that, like the first time it was go. The second time, like she was like this to me, okay? And I looked over, and because I was asking one of them for a cigarette, and I looked over, and this lady standing right there, and all I hear is go, like right close to me. So, I got freaked the fuck out and was like, holy shit, like I don't know what to do, and I didn't know what to think about or anything like that. So I was just like, okay, I'm gonna go, like this is fucking weird. So I grabbed my bike. Again, everybody that's kind of following and that has seen the first part of all this, I grabbed my bike that is not there, and I walk it up like the little hill area into the embankment that I was in, and I'm start walking down the street, and this car with three people that I knew was in this car. Well, one of them, they stopped. One of them got out, and I told him, basically what was going on, and he was like, man, you know what? You're so close to where we live, man. We'll just walk there together, man. I'll help you get back there, no problem. And so I was like, at first I didn't really care. I was like, okay, that's kind of, at first I was like, that's weird, but at the same time I was like, no, like it could be something different or whatever. Like I could be close but not close, because when I woke up, it felt like a new area I'd never been around, and for them to be like, oh, you're so close, we could walk there, I kind of second guessed it in a way. So the people in the car didn't say nothing at the time, anything. The sounds from the car was just music, okay? So me and this person that in my mind was there, but subconsciously he was there, but in reality he was not there, okay? Now, with what's gonna happen, or what I'm gonna walk you down. So there's 4 houses. The first house that we go to, my friend that stopped and was like, I'll walk you back, it's all good. We get to the first house, and he looks at me and he's like, hey man, why don't you try to fucking go up to that house and knock on the door and just ask for a ride, And keep in mind, like, nobody's there. I'm talking to nobody. This is a conversation in my head that I'm having. But at the point in time, I didn't put two together, whatever. Because I'd never been on a full spiritual, psychological trip like this, ever, until this day. So it was really freaky. So anyway, I walk up and I knock on the door. And the guy answers, and me and him converse. We go back and forth, and I ask him, I'm like, hey man, can you give me a ride? Me and my friend over there, and I pointed towards, the driveway, and I was like, hey man, the dude by my bike, he's sitting out there, he's waiting. We just need a ride to get back to town, man. And if not, we can walk the rest of the way. It is not a problem. It's just, he said, you possibly might do it because he said that he lives around here or whatever, and he knows what's going on, with the people on the street that I was on. And the guy was like, he talked to me, he was cool for a little bit, and then I noticed, like, the whole time when I was talking to him, he was inching his way away from, like, his door. So, like, when he came out, after I knocked on the door, he came out, and then he started walking, like, this way towards, and then back up the driveway. And so we got halfway up the driveway, and then he was like, hey, man, let me go make a couple calls and see if I can get a ride for you. I don't have a car, I don't drive, but my girlfriend will be back at like about 5 o'clock. If you want to come back here, I can definitely give you a ride. And I'm like, okay, that's fine, cool. So he goes in and he does whatever, and then he comes back out and he gives me, and these are real cigarettes, he gives me 5 actual real long Newport regular menthols, like regular as in menthol, not the Newport Reds. And so I was like, okay, this is weird. Okay, so he gives me that, and he lets me light one of them. And so I just start walking off, like whatever, because after he gave me the cigarettes, he's like, I can't help you. The person I called, they're busy, and I've already told you I can only take you at 4 or 5 o'clock. And I'm like, okay. So I just keep walking. Now, the second house, there's like, there was two different cars. One of them was like on jacks, and 2 of the tires were taken off and everything, and then there was another car right there, but it had like boxes and other stuff inside of the car, and there was a big huge like garage right there. Like, you would go into the driveway, and the garage was right there, and then you had the house, and then you had the garage back behind it, and then you had this like little side like shed back behind or beside the garage. Now we're walking by it, and I look over at my buddy, this apparition, or this illusion that I am talking to, this hallucination, and I'm like, hey man, can you go over there like I did the first one and see if we can't get a ride? Because, there's actual cars here, like there's a car here and a car here, and one of them has to work type thing. So he goes up there, and like I explained everything on this side, because this was this side where the driveway and everything was. Now the house itself was on this side, and it just had like a walkway that went up this way and then over. So, and then when you walked up and went over, you went into kind of like an outdoor porch, and then into the actual house itself where the door was, and it was just windows. So it was one big huge, like, not sliding windows or opening windows, it was just one of those ones that went all the way to the bottom. But you could see everything around you from the porch itself. So my buddy goes up there and he has a whole conversation with these people. I see the person come out, talk to my buddy. I see the person go back in. And the whole time that this is going on, and I'm watching this, you guys, like I'm literally standing there with my bike like this, off to my side, just standing there, like smoking one of the other cigarettes that I had, because I did have matches. The only thing that I did not have was my cigarettes and a lighter from the night before. But for some reason I had matches in my pocket. So anyway, I was able to light my cigarette during this time, and I was going to smoke a cigarette like he was doing whatever at the house. So the apparition, the person went up there, talked to them, and he comes back after like 2 or 3 minutes, and he's like, hey man, they said that they would, but they're not going to be able to because they got too much stuff inside of the car or whatever. And I'm like, okay, like, can you see, like, if we just take stuff out of the car, if we could still get a ride, and then like they could just put it back in later on, if that wouldn't be a big if it wouldn't be like a big I can't think of the word, like inconvenience for them to do it. And I just kind of like, after I said that, like the person that was the illusion or the hallucinogenic person that I was seeing, was like, yeah, I can go back up there and we can possibly figure out if they would. So I watched my buddy, somebody that literally, it was a friend of mine that I knew back then, like spitting image, the whole 9 yards, the whole fucking thing, man. I watched him go back, talk to them, and he comes back and he says, well, they said that they have to go somewhere, they have to use the car, and they won't be back for a long time, so that we need to just go ahead and just start walking. And I was like, okay, so they're not going to give us a ride, but they're going to leave. And he's like, yeah, pretty much. And I'm like, okay, that's kind of weird. And so I have the conversation, and as I'm having that conversation with said person that isn't there, I'm seeing the other people, or the person that actually lived there, get into the car that I was looking at and literally back up. And as he's backing up, he backs up and he rolls down the window and he goes, hey kid, what you doing, just standing around? I said, nothing, I was just trying to get a ride. And he goes, oh, I'm sorry, I can't give you a ride, I got all these boxes in here and I'm late to go to work. And then takes off. Acts like what happened in my head just a second ago didn't even fucking happen. Like my buddy going, telling him, talking to him, all that shit. The dude acted like he didn't even know me or talk to me or have even seen me until he backed out up to go back down the way that I just came down this road. So I was like, man, this is crazy. So that dude took off in the car, and what was crazy is when the dude took off in the car, he backed out and then he went down the same way that I just came from. But then when I started walking and getting further down into where I was going down the street, when I went to look back, the car was completely fucking gone. Not even on the road. And just to let you guys know, dude, I live out in the boondocks of bumfucked Egypt, BFE. Alright? Meaning that it goes straight for a long time. There's no turns. If you know what a country goddamn mile is, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. There's a difference between a city block and a country block. So, that's my point. It just disappears. And this is like midday, everybody. This is like fucking 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You can see down the whole fucking road. Not there. So by that time, like, I'm starting to like, what the fuck is going on? Thinking, like maybe I was still fucking on one, still tripping, still having these crazy hallucinogenic fucking illusions going on. So now, the next thing that I seen before the fourth house, the next house that I seen before I get to the fourth and the third, there was like a middle house, and in the middle of both of the houses, like, there was a river. It was on the left, and between the third house and the fourth house, the third house, like, I looked at, nobody was there, nothing, didn't look like anybody lived there. So, like, I really didn't, like, stop or anything. Like, I looked at it, kept going type thing. Now, I get right before, in between the third and the fourth house, this is when shit gets fucked. Alright, so, I'm sitting there and I'm walking, and I look over to my left, and when I look over to my left, because this side over here is nothing but just fucking woods. Nothing to see here, keep going type thing. Over here, there's like, a river, and you can see past the river, and there was like a little field where just a farmer lived on the other side, and then there was some more woods past that. But what I was looking at was this, and I'm going to walk you through it and remind you guys. I know it's 26 minutes. I'm sorry, y'all. If you're into this thing, cool. If not, I'm sorry. But anyway, so there was a bunny. It was on a stump. This bunny was tied to the stump. There was a woman that was in a tree with a full-sized halberd in her hand. Okay, and she looked like a scary fucking pirate / like rogue. She had all black on. She had a hood on. She had like this weird, like, it was like a weird fucking face cover mask. Like, not like a fucking Halloween mask, like a face cover mask, but with like different patterns on it and shit. But I could still see her face when the light hit it. Now, she jumped up with this halberd. And if anybody doesn't know what a fucking halberd is, dude, it is a medieval Dark Age weapon that was used to basically tear apart cavalry, tear apart, spearmen. It is a long weapon. It is a very long, high weapon. And the blade itself is about this big, and it goes down like this, and then up like this, and then around like this, and at the top it goes up, and it goes down like this, like an axe, but then it goes into a spike, and then it goes into a spike downwards, and when it goes into a spike downwards, it comes back up, and either some go into a point and then go down, but then the one I seen went into a spike, and then it curled up, and then it went down, and then it went down. So, and this chick double-fisted this motherfucker in a tree, jumps, slices this fucking bunny, this huge fucking fat bunny that's sitting on this stump that was tied to it, okay? So I watched this, physically see this dude, and was like, holy fuck. Half of me was intrigued, the other half was like, what the fuck did I just watch? So I'm just like, okay, I gotta know if the bunny's okay. Like, I don't give a fuck about the chick. Like, I'm being dead ass. I want to know if the bunny was okay. So I ran down the like little fucking dip into the woods and to where the fucking stump was at. Now, I'm looking this way. When I start running, I look downwards, but I still have the stump right here in my view. So I'm still looking and seeing the bunny and the stump. Now over here where the woman was at, because I went from looking here to here, when I look back up after looking from here to here, when I look back up as I was walking down, poof, she was gone. But my peripheral view, I could still see the bunny and the log. When I get to the bunny and the log, as soon as my peripheral view went down all the way to the ground, poof. Totally just poof, gone. No bunny, no rope. Gone. Can't explain to you. Have no fucking clue. To this day, can't fucking tell you. I have no clue. So with that one, this is part 2 of the Jimson trip. There's gonna be a part 3 and a part 4, because you ain't even into you ain't even to the point I get to my house and I'm seeing Mario and I'm seeing dead chicks and I'm seeing fucking the Hat Man. You're not even to the juicy part of the trip that I had that opened my eyes to the veil that we cannot see. So with that one, hopefully whoever you are, wherever you are, if you came to the end of this motherfucker and you do some type of psychedelics or had some type of spiritual awakening or had some type of spiritual event when you were on psychedelics, drop that shit down there. I want to hear from you. Any feedback. You know the deal. Stay to the positive, never to the negative. Always remember that. Go on today, baby. You play. You want to get one life to live. You better live it for today. So with that one, peace.